all of the girls them over the world, I want to wish Uno a happy Valentine's Day. This is coming from Big Boy. Why? I'm going to sing a happy song for Uno. Happy Valentine's Day to 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 Uno. You see, me and Uno did that.
Yes, happy Valentine's Day to everyone. Of course, this is our special intro just for tonight. Welcome to another program. Welcome to another Mikey Life program. Of course, it is no ordinary day. It is Valentine's Day here in the Spice Isle, in the Caribbean, in the world. A day when we celebrate love. We celebrate our loved ones, we celebrate friends, we celebrate families, and of course we are happy to be here with you tonight. We're not spending the whole night with you. We always tell you we don't, but tonight more than ever, we are not spending the whole night with you. Of course, we know that people may have their plans to do this or to do that, and we ain't coming between that plan tonight. I know it will be very brave of us to expect 500 and 800 people on the program tonight. I ain't expecting that. If I get about 10, we good. You understand? Because I know that you have plans for yourself tonight, and keeping that in mind, I always tell you I will not stay long. No, tonight I will not be staying long. And evidence of that is now. We're going straight into the headlines. Happy Hill Secondary School and GBSS are crowned the champions of the 2020 Subway Basketball Championships. We're going to talk about that. Bail denied for 2 men charged in Belmont robbery as well. Ariel Bowler's killer sentencing date has been pushed back. Haiti, 15 children die in fire at an unauthorized orphanage. We're going to be talking about that, as well as exercise by the Trinidad police that is really interesting. So we have that and more to tell you about when we return on tonight's Mikey Live. We want to encourage you to share the program. When you share the program, that's how other people get to know that we are live. So go ahead, my good people on the live, and share the business. Now, we got to let you know that the headlines was brought to you through the kind compliments of WPG10, Nawasa, and Digicel. Brace all yourself. When we come back, it's real news in all you Lily Lolo. We do stay long.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom
for me and you.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. What a wonderful world.
We enjoy the luxury of a quality water supply. But it can come to this. Have adequate storage.
It's one of the most anticipated events in 2020, the Grenada Music Festival, June 5th to 7th at the home of the festival, Quarantine Recreational Park. 12 live bands, more than 16 dynamic performers, great food and local culture. The Grenada Music Festival, June 5th to 7th. Bigger and better in 2020. Get ready.
Are you planning an event or looking to rent tents? Then call the tent experts at Waggy T Tent Rentals. We rent tents for all occasions. Tents in different colors, styles, and 25 different sizes, from as little as 10 by 10 to as large as 100 by 40. Call us at 439-TENT. That's 439-8368. Or visit our office at Frequente Industrial Park, Brannan St. George. We are Grenada's tent people.
Why not stay in, turn off the alarm clock, and sleep some more on your perfect mattress from Quartz? For the widest range of mattresses from the world's best brands, the best value guaranteed. Shop today and let our sleep experts help you to decide on the best option to suit your needs. At Quartz, we don't just sell mattresses, we're offering you the best night's sleep. So, sleep in a little on your new mattress from Quartz. Quartz, bringing value home.
Yeah, that's right. Quartz is always bringing value home. Again, if you have not yet done so, I would like to encourage everyone to please share the program. Of course, when you share the program, that's how other people get to know that the program is live. So please go ahead, people, and share the business. Welcome, folks. It's another night, and it's no ordinary night. Valentine's night. It's for lovers, all right? So all the lovers out there, happy Valentine. I hope that things will work out for you. I hope you get through with whatever your plans are for tonight. And folks, let's get right into our discussion for tonight. News discussed, not told. The National Emergency Advisory Council, NEAC, on Wednesday, in its monthly council meeting, commended the teams at the Ministry of Health and the Grenada Airport Authority for their response to the threat of the novel coronavirus. That's according to the Ministry of Health. Now, at Wednesday's meeting, an extensive report was presented by both the Acting Chief Medical Officer, CMO, and a representative from the Maurice Bishop International Airport, the MBIA, on the actions taken thus far to protect the nation's borders. Council members were given first-hand information on the protocols adopted since the WHO's designation that the novel coronavirus is a public health emergency of international concern. Now, discussions were also held on the existing health protocols that the country may need to adopt in the event of having a confirmed case on the island or in the region. Going forward, Council will convene regular meetings with the Health Services Committee chaired by the Ministry of Health on the NEAC body as the advisory team. And that is to ensure that the nation can respond, if needs be, to this deadly virus that has taken over 1,100 lives in China. Now, tonight we have heard of reports of the incubation time being somewhat different, possibly, all right? So that is a theory that has been put out there, not to show to what extent they can prove that, but they are saying that the incubation period may be longer than previously stated, which is 14 days. It's a new strain of the virus, and of course, it will take time and research to at least have a clear understanding on its characteristics. Yes? All right. So earlier we are moving on. Now the next thing that we have to tell you about, the Happy Hill Secondary School and the Grenada Boys Secondary School have been crowned the champions of the 2020 Subway Secondary School Basketball Championships. Now HSS won the female division after finishing undefeated on the standings, and the female competition was played on a round-robin basis. Second place was former champions, that's Anglican High School, and third place was Grenville Secondary School. The overall female MVP of the championship was Aja Bowen, that's right, and she's of the Happy Hill Secondary School, and the best coach of the championship was Miss Debbie Britton of the Happy Hill Secondary School. That's my old school. Yo, put some respect on it, you know what I mean? Yes. So we have to say congratulations to the winners, all right? Why not, all right? In the male division, GBSS retained their title after finishing 2-1 in the best of 3 final against Presentation Brothers College, the PVC. Now, to win the series, GBSS won by a 5-point difference, with the final score being 66-61. Leading GBSS to victory was Zikomo Francis with 21 points, 6 steals, and 3 rebounds. Whoa. Alright, so yeah, boy, blessings to all of Wally and things like that, you know what I mean? Yeah, boy, we're moving on. Oh, yeah. So, in the papers segment, boy, we want to first take you to a story from the Grenada Informer. You know, from time to time we tell you what's in the papers. All right, and there are some interesting stories here in Dakar back in 2020. Well, we don't know that because now we are hearing that the teachers union are saying that, hey, not so fast. No, 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 not so fast. So come so fast. So according to the Informer, 2 men charged in connection with what the lawmen dubbed a violent robbery in the Belmont area in St. George's on Saturday, February 1st, have been denied bail. The 2, Andy Patterson from Belmont and Leon Jeffrey from Grandance, appeared before acting magistrate Teddy St. Louis at the number 1 magistrates court. All right, and that's in St. George's, and that was on Thursday, where attempts to secure bail was turned down by the magistrate, giving into a request from the prosecution for added time to complete their investigation. Now, according to information reaching the Grenada Informer, they say both men were accused of inflicting a wound on a Belmont resident on Saturday, February 1st. And they say that, so that was that particular incident. Yeah, Saturday, February 1st, and making off with cash in excess of $2,000. Now, sources told the Informer the victim, Cephas Felix, a businessman, was at the time in his business place, a small bar, all right, and that's in Belmont, where he came under a violent attack from 2 individuals armed with weapons. The individuals, it was reported, threatened Felix and demanded money. Not waiting for a response, sources said the men held on a bag Felix had. They held onto a bag that Felix had in his possession, and a scuffle ensued. It was during the scuffle, we were told, that Felix suffered some injuries to his hands and was forced to surrender his possessions to his attackers. According to a well-placed source, the men got away with cash amounting to $2,517.50. Felix, on the other hand, was warded for 2 days at the General Hospital. During a brief stint in court last Thursday, Jeffrey, one of the accused, though not required to plead, given that the charges against them is indictable, told the court that he is accepting full responsibility for his actions and was therefore ready to plead guilty. His confession, which was also accompanied by a request for bail, was shelved until the next hearing date for the matter, scheduled for Tuesday, February 18. The second accused, Patterson, denied any involvement in the matter. However, like his friend, he too would have to wait until Tuesday when the matter returns to court. The prosecution team also objected strongly to having the men out on bail as requested. Among the reasons cited was that both men had tainted records, and if placed on bail, there is a strong likelihood of them re-offending. Patterson, it was said, has 21 previous convictions, among them a number of housebreaking and stealing, including robbery with violence. Jeffrey, on the other hand, has 3 previous convictions, all of which involve stealing. It was said that he was only released from prison in December of 2019, where he served time for what appeared to be his trademark offenses. After listening to both sides, Magistrate St. Louis gave the assurance that he would take another look at the possibility of bail at the next sitting. Both men were therefore remanded to Her Majesty's prison. Alright, so that's one of the stories that we thought was interesting on the Informer. And then they had bail, so that was that. And then Ariel Bola, her killer, the sentencing date was pushed back. So that also made the papers. The 19-year-old Grand Dance resident convicted on a charge of capital murder last year for the gruesome rape and murder of 8-year-old Aria Bola in November of 2017 has been made to wait a little longer before knowing his fate. High Court Judge Paula Guilford on Monday decided to adjourn the sentencing of Tweley Joseph, the man charged with one of the Grenada's most gruesome killings in recent times, to April 8th of 2020, citing that she needed more time and additional information to fully assess the situation in line with the new sentencing guidelines before coming to a decision till April. Wow. All right, so that's some time. All right. At the time of Bola's death, Joseph was 17 years old, still a minor, and therefore the death penalty, according to information given to our news desk, cannot be applied. It is for this reason, among others, we were told that Judge Guilford decided to act on the side of caution. Joseph's attorney, George Prime, in explaining the rationale behind the judge's decision, said that this is a case of capital murder carrying with it certain penalties, and therefore the judge needed to ensure that her action is well protected in law. Now, Prime said because the convicted man was a juvenile at the time, he cannot be given the required death penalty prescribed by the law. Adding to that, he said because certain sentences can be imposed, the respective reports, social inquiry, and the likes presented to the court must be thorough. The defense lawyer told the media that from the reports that were already submitted to the court, it is believed that Joseph may have been suffering from certain deficiencies at the time of the killing, and while this may not change the outcome of the verdict, he said it could go to Joseph's favor when it comes to sentencing based on the new guidelines. Prime noted that because of this, the judge decided to conduct further studies prior to delivering the final sentence. The date for sentencing is now set for April 8th, 2020. That talk alone. Leave that talk here. Anyway, you understand? Anyway, I saw they had another thing. I was enjoying my little paper. 2 men from the village of Pomrose in St. David charged with rape and indecent assault in an incident dating back to 2011 have been found guilty. One for rape and the other for unlawful carnal knowledge. I don't even know. Tell them rapists and them. Hey! You're telling me? What? Cletus St. Paul in middle of sex scandal? Papa! Me? Anyway, let me see. I don't see that one. Police officer police officer charged with audio. The new today, Cletus St. Paul in middle of sex scandal. Let me see what I say here. St. Paul provided the key piece of evidence that was used by the state prosecution in 1980 to convict former Deputy Prime Minister Bernard Code. Wait, how are we reach there? Well, let me see. A senior lawyer in the court. Details are being emerged. Although, by them people paper you hear, Papa. Hey. Back up bad enough. Speaks of a breakdown of the system. Superintendent Tafawa Peer tip to take over in CID. Superintendent Dubba, his name is calling for a role on the West Coast. So it looks like there's about to be some changes within the hierarchy of the Royal Grenada Police Force, according to this paper. I tell all you to keep it all along, and I want to stick to that. You understand? We're moving on. Okay, Olio. So, the next thing that we have to tell you, 15 children died in a fire at an unauthorized orphanage in Haiti. Listen, this thing is so dread to digest. And these are the things that sometimes happen, God forbid, These are the things that sometimes happen when we do not follow the law, when we do not follow the rules, and we feel that we could just do what we want because we want to do it. I can't even put up no picture, I'm not doing it. But 2 children burned to death when the fire broke out at the orphanage, all right? And the others perished at hospital. They say rescue workers arrived at the scene on motorcycles and did not have the bottled oxygen or the ambulances needed to transport the children to the hospital. According to reports, they could have been saved, but the responders just did not have the equipment, and so they all died. 15 of them. I'll leave that one. I'll leave it alone. Sorry. Can't handle that today. Yo, today, soca icon Marshall Montano got married to his beautiful wife. It was a typical white wedding. It didn't seem to have a crowd, you know. I think gone are the days when you do weddings with crowds and things like that. You understand? Yeah, just a few people, and then you have a reception, and then you invite your friends and them in anything. You know what I mean? You know, you're not trying to have the biggest wedding, because these days that are working. You understand? So anyway, Marshall Montano, he said, "I do" on Valentine's Day. You understand? So congratulations to him and his beautiful wife. Now, all you, there was an exercise in Trinidad and Tobago, and that's going to be our entertainment piece for today. I think it's cool. The Commissioner of Police, Gary Griffith, and the Honorable Stuart Young, the Minister of National Security, witnessed the horse scare and crowd exercise, which forms part of the preparations for Carnival 2020. Now, the exercise took place on Thursday, that was yesterday, at the Police Training Academy. And folks, I think we should as well do that. It was fun, but a very serious exercise. And I'd like to share that with you in tonight's entertainment piece.
We are asking for the assistance of the horses.
Let me pause for a while. That's why it's important to listen and pay attention. I see there are about 2 or 3 persons who are commented that they are not understanding what's going on. So I need to explain again. All right, let's go back to our script on this. It's an exercise by the Trinidad and Tobago Police Services and the Commissioner of Police Gary Griffith and the Honorable Stuart Young, which is the Minister of National Security, witnessed the horse scare / crowd exercise. It forms part of the preparations for Carnival 2020. Now that exercise took place yesterday, at the Police Training Academy. So this is to show how the police in Trinidad and Tobago plan on dealing with rowdy crowds, or in the event of a possible riot or disorderly crowds during the carnival or even after. They are showing how they plan on dealing with it. So these are the strategies that they will employ. So they show you the first line of defense, the de-escalation process, the second line of defense, and so on and so forth. And I decided to share that with you because I think it's a very interesting way of dealing with the scenario presented. A rowdy crowd of revelers at Carnival. That's the scenario that they have presented, and they are showing how the police plan on doing so and what sort of strategies that the police there will employ in the event that a scenario like this unfolds during Trinidad's Carnival or any time for that matter.
Police presence is where we begin. But in an instance where you have a crowd as large as this, we would have called all the support that we could have done to make sure these rebels not escalate into a riot. These rebels are going to enjoy themselves until they feel it fit to go home. But there's a time that the police will have to turn the music off and to try to peacefully have the people go to their homes and their local business places. Missiles are still being shown, and it's agreed that they will fight it back. So the government is trying. That's what they have to do.
Yes, folks, of course, and this video going out, I think would at least give some people some assurance, some level of assurance that should there be any sort of rioting or so, that the police do have the potential to deal with it, because the people who were masqueraders or pretending to be masqueraders in this, they were told that they need to make it as real as possible. And as you can see, they applied real force. They applied real pressure on the police, and the police in return responded in a real manner. And so the situation was in fact de-escalated. All right? Maybe we should have those sort of simulations as well to show how prepared we are to deal with scenarios like this. Folks, we are moving on. I told you that we were not going to keep you long, and we are not going to be keeping you long. We have the national report coming up shortly, but before that, we have to again remind persons of our hot list. All right, and the persons on our hot list, you need to call 420-8226. Again, the persons on our hot list, you need to call 420-8226 immediately. Alisa Joseph of River Road, Erlin Gilbert of Grand Mall, Lindy Skinner Moraine Springs, Ansel Holder Tempe, Clifford Batiste Grand Dance, Byron Frank Vendome, Augustus Maitland Boseju, Nadia Simon Monkey, Sholan Ambrose Gove, Aston Thomas Moran, Lauren and Sherry Ann Dunbar Telescope, Glenn Canai, Post Royal, Joseph Paul Pearls, Stardale Romaine Conference, Errol McEwen Carrier, Ricky Lalji, Hope St. Andrew, Gary George aka Gambe, Langdon Road, Grove St. John, Kimani Lewison, Mount Moritz, St. George's. As well, Kimron Alexander Maribo, Alberto Lewis Paradise, Elroy Fletcher Grenville, Jenny Samuel Conference, Kelly Hiller and Jennifer James Conference, Atiba Bartholomew Tivoli, Jeniza Samuel Conference, Brendan Douglas, Harford Village, Kelly David Montrich, Andrel Noel Chantimel, Alicia Fabian Soteres, Raymond Albert Morn Fendu, Dagmar Chavez Westerhall, St. David, Curtis Boris, Rucane, Omega Antoine Marley, and Linus Charles Latant. Please again call the number. We are taking our second and final break, and we've got the national report following.
I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom
For me and you.
I see friends shaking hands, saying, how do you do? They're really saying, I love you. What a wonderful world.
We enjoy the luxury of a quality water supply. But it can come to this. Have adequate storage.
It's one of the most anticipated events in 2020, the Grenada Music Festival, June 5th to 7th at the home of the festival, Quarantine Recreational Park. 12 live bands, more than 16 dynamic performers, great food and local culture. The Grenada Music Festival, June 5th to 7th. Bigger and better in 2020. Get ready.
Are you looking to rent chairs and tables? Then call Waggy T Rentals. We rent tables and chairs for any event. We have 7 different types of chairs: plastic, folding chairs, gray and white, resin white chairs, conference chairs, even Chivari chairs in gold and white. We also rent 6 feet and 8 feet rectangular folding tables, 4 feet and 5 feet round tables, and even cocktail tables. Give us a call at 444-RENT. That's 444-7368. Or visit our office at Frequente Industrial Park, Grand St. George.
Why not stay in, turn off the alarm clock, and sleep some more on your perfect mattress from Quartz? For the widest range of mattresses from the world's best brands, the best value guaranteed. Shop today and let our sleep experts help you to decide on the best option to suit your needs. At Quartz, we don't just sell mattresses, we're offering you the best night's sleep. So, sleep in a little on your new mattress from Quartz. Quartz, bringing value home.
Alrighty, folks, and now we present to you the National Report.
Government assures that all is being done to help students in China through this challenging period. Details of this story and more in the National Report. Welcome back. With the details to the news for Friday, February 14th, I am Sherry Ann Noel. The parents and other relatives of students studying in China have been assured by the government of Grenada that all possible steps are being taken to help them through this challenging period caused by the outbreak of the coronavirus. The assurances were provided by representatives from the Ministry of Health, Education and Foreign Affairs who met with the parents Thursday afternoon. The meeting, which far exceeded the allotted time, gave parents the opportunity to pose their questions as it relates to the way forward for their loved ones who are currently pursuing studies in China. Honorable Peter David, Minister for Foreign Affairs, reassured the parents and guardians that the ministry officials have been in communication with Grenada's embassy in the People's Republic of China.
I've just come from a meeting with the Chinese ambassador. In fact, I think we met every day this week on that issue. And they are saying that, listen, it is as important to them as it is important to us that nobody, no foreign national, contracts corona, because it leads, of course, to all of a doubling up of the propaganda against them. So don't believe that the Chinese do not care. I'm saying this in the context that the Chinese government have put resources at the disposal of their government in order to fight corona. Now, with respect to the students, our ambassador in China has been in touch with all of the students. Now, any student who is not in touch is because the student is not on the WeChat, on the chat groups. There are two chat groups established by the embassy in China. One chat group for the students at the epicenter, meaning Wuhan. Another chat group for all of the other students in the other areas. For example, Shanghai and Chongqing and all these other areas where we have students, they have a bigger WeChat. The reason why she separated them is because the Wuhan students are in the most difficult situation because they are on lockdown. And they are on lockdown for their own safety and for the safety of everyone else also. For their own safety primarily because none of them have been diagnosed. It means that for as long as they stay where they are, given the history of the infections, the spread of the infection, they will be okay.
Minister David said government is doing its best to ensure that the needs of the students are met.
The Chinese government has placed resources at the disposal of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs in China to take care of the needs of foreign students. Because, of course, China places great emphasis on their foreign relations. It means that they want to ensure that we keep good relations, and to keep good relations, they have to ensure that they protect the students who come from our country. So they are working on that.
Honorable Pamela Moses, Minister in the Ministry of Education with responsibility for tertiary education, skills development, and education outreach, expressed a heartfelt concern.
We are very concerned about the students out there. We are very concerned about the nation as a whole. We are also concerned of the world and what this would mean. We have past histories of what went on before. We know our population in China is, well, they are widespread, approximately 80 students there in China, 80 students. There are countries that have 5,000 students in China. You know, it's not us alone, really. It's Caribbean countries, it's African countries, it's a global national issue. And, you know, I'm just so happy that we are able to get you here so that we can discuss it with you.
Moving along, dialysis treatment at the General Hospital in St. George's has been delayed by 2 weeks as government steps up its surveillance to deal with the threat of the coronavirus. During the government's weekly post-cabinet press briefing on Tuesday, Minister of Health, Honorable Nicholas Steele, said his government is still very committed to providing the service at the General Hospital at a subsidized cost of $300 per treatment.
Yes, we're going ahead with that. We have finalized that. It is going to start a little late because we put all resources in the last couple of week and a half on coronavirus. But I would expect we'll probably be about 2 weeks. So where I said the middle of February, we'd look at the end of February, I think, or first week of March, where we would be starting that service here.
Presently, patients on dialysis treatment pay $750 per treatment, and in most cases, 3 treatments per week are needed. Government has also increased the monthly assistance given to the patients from $1,000 to $3,000. This is the National Report. More news after the break.
Kayak Mass 2020. February 15th to February 25th. And the real events. Make it one spectacular carnival. Saturday, February 15th. Children Mass, Frolic, and the Big Show. Thursday, February 20th. Queen Show Night. February 21st. Soca Monarch. Saturday, 22nd. Jab Convention. Calypso and Groovy. Sunday, February 23rd. Monday, Juve and Monday Night Mass. Tuesday, February 25th. Shakespeare Mass. And the Last Lap. All the major MCs and DJs will be inside Kayak Mass 2020. Make reservations and book now.
Welcome back. The Voter and Civic Registration Officer at the Parliamentary Elections Office says the replacement of the expired voters' registration cards is going according to plan. Mr. Ferdinand Phillips says the process, which began on Monday, February 3rd at the Parliamentary Constituency offices island-wide, is progressing without hindrance, and the public is cooperating. Persons who are already enlisted on the voters' registration list will not be removed. He says there will be a slight change to the new cards issued.
When the system came into being in January of 2012, all of the cards had an expiry date of January 31st, 2020. So whether persons took it out in 2016 or 2012 or 2019, all cards expired January 31st, 2020. In this case, however, the expiry date will be 10 years from the date of issue. So it's going to be staggered, and it's going to be 10 years. Every person will have 10 years usage for their card. So if I, excuse me, if I take off my card in, let's say this year, 2020, my card will expire in 2030. But if someone else takes out their card in 2023, their card having 10 years life on it will expire in 2033, month to month. So we want persons to be aware of that.
Once visiting the various parliamentary offices to have the expired cards replaced or to register for the first time, there are certain documents that must be presented to the clerk to facilitate the process.
What are the documents? It's either your valid passport, your Grenadian passport here, or your official birth certificate. Again, your valid passport or your official birth certificate. If someone wishes to upgrade their information, supporting documentation must be produced. And I normally use the example of, let's say someone gets married and they need to have their husband, they need their surname to now reflect that of their husband. Again, the marriage certificate will be required. You get the same registration number. I guess that question has been asked on several occasions, and yes, you are getting the same registration number that was on the previous card. But as you indicated, we are requesting that persons please bring along the card when coming to do the application. This is for your benefit. Some people may wonder why, but you do not want to have 2 voter registration cards out there. Although one is expired and in theory useless, but we really emphasize the security of the voter identification card, and so we do not want to have too many of these cards out there. If there's one Ferdinand Philip, there should only be one card in circulation.
Mr. Phillips said there are still people visiting the electoral office at Tantine Terrace to apply for and collect cards. The office, he says, does not issue cards, and that people should return to the Parliamentary Constituency office to collect for and apply for the voters' registration cards. One nutmeg farmer is beneficiary of an alternative propagating method for his nutmeg plants aimed at increasing his production. Details to this report by Karima Lewis.
The Ministry of Agriculture and Lands have partnered with the Caribbean Agricultural Research and Development Institute, CARDI, and the Grenada Cooperative Nutmeg Association, GCNA, to help increase nutmeg productivity through grafting on one particular farm in St. Andrew. Nutmeg farmer Ambrose Phillip, after investing heavily in 400 nutmeg plants, have been left with 80% of his plots unable to produce. Grafting as an alternative way of propagation has been in discussions for quite some time. The farm of Mr. Ambrose Phillip is the first to have this measure being implemented. Phillip's nutmegs were planted in 2016. He explains the predicament he is presently faced with.
If you look around, you would see that the bulk of the nutmegs are not under the traditional shade of banana. The bulk of the nutmegs are what you will call open stand or open field. And as a result, they have started declaring. They started declaring about March, April last year. And regrettably, we had an extremely and unfortunate high percentage of male plants or male declarations. In other words, nutmegs can take up to 7 years to declare, and by declare we mean whether the flower that you get and the subsequent fruit is male or female.
Cardi representative for Grenada, Reginald Andel, speaks on the effectiveness of the method of grafting.
The Ministry of Agriculture here in Grenada, after the Ivan fiasco, with assistance, financial assistance from the International Trade Center, our grafters in Grenada at Maribor Propagating Station were, and also in the Spice Research Project, were educated into the grafting process. So, and we knew that they have had some, approximately about 30% success in that. So knowing that, and when we investigated also, the cost of grafting a nutmeg tree is much, way cheaper than doing DNA sequencing. So hence when we got to know about Mr. Phillip's debacle of all his high rate of nutmeg trees on his farm, maybe about 90%, we discussed it with the GCNA and we decided that this is a good intervention to start with Mr. Phillip to transfer his male plants into female-bearing plants.
The method of grafting was performed by agricultural instructor at the Maribor Propagating Station, Shawan Joseph. He speaks on the processes that must be followed to guarantee success.
This technique, once we have selected the mother plant, the female plant, right, with the desirable characteristics, for example, large seed, thick maize, etc., what will actually profit the farmer more. We select those mother plants and we take the budding material from those plants and then we graft it onto the male plants. Right? After the budding process, it will take about, say, a month or so, a month to 6 weeks. And the farmer will have to be there to observe the plant, observe the graft, remove the tape as I will demonstrate. Once you realize the bud is active and it's starting to grow, the farmer can take it off and we will notice that the tree in return, the bud that grows out to be a female bud, and then you control the plant growth to not make the rootstock take over the bud.
General Manager of the GCNA, Roderick Sinclair, says this initiative is just the start in its implementation, as other farmers who face a similar situation also stand to benefit. For the Ministry of Agriculture, I am Karima Lois.
And with that story, come to the end of the National Report for Friday, February 14th, 2020. On behalf of the news and production team, I am Sherry Ann Noel, thanking you for viewing.
All right, so thank you very much, Sherry Ann, and everyone else who were instrumental in the production of the National Report. We would like to say thank you very much for that. It's time for us to take a little look at the weather and see what's happening. Today was really windy and overcast, and I thought we were going to get some rain, but unfortunately we didn't. Anything significant. Probably it was just a little drizzle. Nothing too much to talk about, all right? But, of course, it kept the heat down to some degree. So, yes, it was partly cloudy, windy, and hazy. We can expect some isolated showers tonight. Tonight's minimum temperature is expected to be just around 23.5 degrees Celsius. Winds easterly to northeasterly at 14 to 24 miles per hour. Seas moderate to slightly rough, waves 6 to 8 feet in northerly to northeasterly swells. A marine advisory remains in effect. And for tomorrow, God's willing, Saturday, Sun is expected to rise at 6:30 and set at 6:14. Now, the weather for tomorrow, Saturday, is expected to be partly cloudy and hazy, with the occasional light showers. The maximum temperature 20.0 degrees. My bad. Now, the maximum is expected to be just around 30 degrees and minimum 23.5 degrees Celsius. Winds east-northeasterly to easterly at 12 to 22 miles per hour. Seas moderate, waves 4 to 6 feet in open waters. And again, a marine advisory would be in effect for Saturday. And let's take a look at Sunday as well. The weather would be just about partly cloudy at first, improving by late morning. The max temperature 30.5 degrees Celsius and minimum 24 degrees Celsius. Winds east-northeasterly to easterly at 12 to 22 miles per hour. Seas moderate, waves 4 to 6 feet in open waters. Again, a marine advisory is in effect for Sunday. So that's the weather for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Folks, that's as far as I can go. You enjoy the rest of your Valentine. I hope that you have something planned for yourself and for the special someone that you call your lover. Or maybe your secret admirer would have sent you something and you're trying to figure it out. yeah, good for you with that. Anyway, enjoy. It is not all about money and material things. If you can give of your time, I think that should be significant enough, yeah? I am no big celebrator of Valentine either, because but I respect those who do, because I understand the value of it just the same. All right, so guys, enjoy it, and may God bless you and your family. Before we go, Trevelyn, Peter, Margaret, Chanel, and Charlene, Zaka, Shireen, I already said Trevelyn, Ezran, Kojo, Don, Kireen, Angel, Evelyn, did I say Charlene, Joyous, Danica, and Eugenia, and Eunice, I see you there, Danica, and as well we have with us Angel, yes, Angel, and Natalie. Big up yourself. All right, so guys, blessings to you, and hey Heather, hi to you as well. All right, God bless you, and do have a good one. Take care of yourselves, guys. We have a big live coming up tomorrow, so we're inviting you to check all that. That's going to be at around 10:30 p.m. All right, so guys, you can look forward to that. We are going to be live with a band launch tomorrow. All right, Uru band launch. We will be live. Okay, guys, take care of yourselves. All right, take care, take care, take care. May God bless you. And happy Valentine. Let's go in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We all say, Ja, no. See you later.